Hey, this is Craig Ford with another Mayor's Minute. Thank you for joining me. We've had a lot going on, and sorry I hadn't been able to have a regular scheduled Mayor's Minute. We've had ribbon cuttings and cleanup days and etc. So we've been a little bit busy and a lot of things to talk to you about, and I'll hit the highlights. We had our cleanup day. We scheduled it around the Earth Day, and we had 155 volunteers show up. So this year, like last year, we have our city employees, and then we've also asked the public to participate, and we picked up 26 tons of trash in the city limits of Gadsden. Now last year we almost doubled that, and somebody may say, maybe we didn't have enough people or etc. No, we went to a lot of areas and they were a lot cleaner. So I think it's kudos to our litter crew and to you and to everybody else in Gadsden for putting an emphasis on cleaning up Gadsden. So that was fabulous. I thought that was good. We went to every spot that we knew of and spots that we hit last year. Yes, there's still trash out there. Yes, we can still do better. However, we're getting there, and that showed a lot of improvement, and it's been 2.5 years since I've been in office. So I want to thank our city employees. I want to thank our litter crew. I want to thank our public works employees, and also I want to thank you. Not everybody loves change, and I get that. But we did make some changes as far as in our dumping and our ordinances, what you leave on the street. And I know it was painful for some people, but it's working. And I just want to thank you for being able to help us make this city cleaner. We're getting recognized by a lot of national organizations and by a lot of local news crews about our city, and it's part of our efforts of cleaning up Gadsden, and it's making a difference. As I told you before, when I first came in office, we had someone wanting to bring a site here, and the first thing he told me when I picked him up from the airport and we drove through an area, he said, "You got a litter problem." Well, at that point in time, I made a commitment to myself and to you, hey, we're going to clean up Gadsden. We're not going to have that first statement come out of somebody that wants to bring an industry here and bring jobs to Gadsden. So thank you to you and to all the employees for doing that. We also cut a ribbon on a fire station up at Nakalula Falls. That fire station is beautiful, so if you haven't been to see it, feel free to stop in and see it. One fireman told me, he said, "I feel like I'm a tour director. I just give tours all the time." And I asked him if that was okay, and he said, "Yes, we love it." He said, "We love communicating with the public." So this fire station is part of my new vision of every fire station will have a police precinct on the front of it. And so there will be a police presence on the front part, and that's the part that's on the road, on Nakalula Road. And there's cameras that are in neighborhoods that we're installing, and the TVs will be in that little police precinct. So a police officer will not be there 24/7, but they will be there a lot of the time during their shift, doing reports, filling out paperwork, meeting the public. Also, we'll have those TV screens. They'll be recorded in case there's a crime in the area. So it's been proven that it lowers crime in the area, and also we have cameras now called flock cameras that are at certain red lights that when you go through, if we know what type of vehicle it is, we get the tag number, we can identify the suspect, and then we can have them arrested, which has already been taking place. When not only in Gadsden, but in Etowah County and our surrounding cities. We've all worked together to put flock cameras in key intersections. So it's a big advantage for having that police precinct on that fire station. The fire station is phenomenal. One thing I wanted to do was a log cabin facade so it fit in with Nakalula. We did that. And also I wanted the red doors and the red windows. I think that's a good recruitment tool for our fire department, but also that's the way I grew up. I think all fire departments ought to have red doors and red windows. Maybe a couple of Dalmatians out front that are statues. Maybe we'll look into that. But I think it's good for the kids to see, especially with the elementary school right across the street. And it'll help us down the road, and it's a good community feel, and it also looks good. I want to still mention the campground. Man, it's blowing and going. And we've had people come from all over the United States, and I say that literally. We had somebody from Alaska, and we've had somebody in the Northeast all the way, and we've had them everywhere. People love the campground. I think that's phenomenal. I think it's doing great. Christina and her crew up there do a great job. We just had the barbecue kickoff or cook-off, whatever you call that, and it went excellent. There were some things that need to be improved with the kids cooking things, and we let them know that, and that's going to be improved. But it's just the campground's packed every weekend, and it's bringing a lot of tourists, a lot of visitors to our area who's spending a lot of money downtown and other areas, so it's all paying for itself, and we appreciate all that. The duck boats, our favorite thing to talk about. I love looking out the window and looking at the duck boats and seeing people have fun going up and down the river. The duck boats are rented all the time. We paid for 4 of those duck boats 2 years ago, or a year ago, I think. I think last summer was the first summer we had them. And we paid for 2 of them in one summer. We've already paid for another one. So by the end of this summer, within 2 years, we're paid for all our duck boats. It'll be a good quality of life issue for you to go enjoy the Coosa River, right up and down the Coosa with your friends on the duck boat. And it's just something to do, and it's something that we're trying to get more things to do here also. We do have kayaks for rent over there. It's a self-rental thing where you pay and you get your kayak out and you ride up and down, and it's just one of those things. I see those out all the time too. So First Friday's in fully operation. And man, oh man, I'm telling you, if you haven't been to a First Friday, you need to go. And I bet everybody that's watching this has been to a First Friday, but it was packed last First Friday. And the last First Friday we got another one coming up in May, and it's going to be wonderful. Our concerts have cranked up at the amphitheater. The only difference in First Friday this year is that First Fridays end at 8 p.m., so the concerts can start at 8 p.m., so the traffic will start flowing that way. We had an issue with people wanting to leave First Friday earlier in their cars going up and down the street, and I, being an insurance guy, I was scared that, hey, we're going to hit a kid or hit somebody, so we're trying to make sure that once your car is parked, you can't leave until 8 p.m., and that's going to be the thing in the future, that we're going to put a process in place that if you want to participate First Friday with your vehicle, once you park it, you can't get out of there till 8 p.m. So that's a safety issue, and I just want to make sure we've avoided all problems so far, knock on wood. So I want to make sure that continues to do so. The Gadsden State Sports Park, it's blowing and going. Let me tell you, it's happening all the time, every weekend, tournaments, etc. I have heard loud and clear about parking. We have a parking problem. When we designed this in the beginning, we went in partnership with Gadsden State on a parking lot. They're doing everything they can to get their parking lot completed, which we partnered in as quick as possible. The issue is there's a covered bridge that connects that parking lot to the Gadsden State men's and girls softball, baseball field. That covered bridge is behind schedule. You would think we'll go ahead and finish the parking lot. Well, you can't finish the parking lot because you got to get the covered bridge to its spot where it's supposed to go through that parking lot. So we can't pave that parking lot and then put the covered bridge in, tear up the asphalt, and come back and do it. So we are in contact with Gadsden State. We're working together on this. We're going to have that covered bridge in place soon, hopefully sooner rather than later. Then we can pay that parking lot, and we'll have another parking lot right next to there. There's also some new news that's going to be coming out about that complex that we're going to partner up with Gadsden State on in the 2-year school system, post-secondary in Montgomery, about some additional things that are going to go on over there, which will involve their sports at Gadsden State. We'll partner with them, and it'll be another quality of life issue. That thing has just ballooned up, which it's a good problem to have, but it's a problem we have to address and make sure that we have ample parking and safe parking. I want to tell you the last thing, the paving crew. The paving crew's doing great. They're on South 6th Street down by Cherry Street Park. Of course, they dug up the base. There was some stuff there that didn't need to be there. So my attitude is, hey, do it right. Don't just put another top coat on there of asphalt, and then in 5-10 years, we've got the same problem before. If we're going to do it right. So we're digging up a lot of the base that shouldn't have been there, and then we're going back, and that street will be built the way it should have been a long time ago. But South 6th Street's one of our main arteries for that area down there by Stripling, Gadsden Middle, Cherry Street Park. A lot of residents in that area, and so they've also paved some side roads back in there that needed paving, and now they're working like bandits down there on South 6th Street. So I'm excited to see that. I went there this morning. One more thing I want as an alibi. We swore in 5 new police officers this morning. Y'all, that's just fantastic. People are having a hard time, municipalities, finding police officers. When I started, we were in the low 70s of police officers, 72 or 73. Today, we have 93 police officers. My goal is to get to 105 police officers. We just had 8 or 9 finish the academy, and they were sitting behind them in their blues, and I thought they looked sharp, and they're ready to go, and they're about to do where they ride around with a police officer and train. They got out of academy, they've completed their weapons training, and now I call it ride along. It's called FTA. But they ride along with a police officer, they grade them, they make them train under them for so many weeks, and then they'll get out and have their own vehicle, and they'll be on the streets by themselves. So it's about a 10-month process to get an officer from the beginning to swearing in to out on the streets by themselves. So one thing, somebody said, well, it takes too long. I get it, but we want to make sure they're fully trained and they have all the tools that they need. We've bought over 60 new police vehicles. We now have a process in place. We rotate vehicles out every year, so we can budget for that, which is important, to put a budgetary process in place of how many vehicles we need to rotate out to sell on Gov Deals, how many new ones we need to bring in, because there's a process of doing that also. So I'm very excited about our police department and our fire department. We were at full staff with the fire department, and then we had some retirements and some transfers, so now we're hiring again. We're about 8 short. I think we have about 108 slots, and we have 100 firemen, so I think we have about 4 we're about to hire. So we're close to getting back to full staff with them. But it's a never-ending, it's like a hamster on a wheel, and it's constant moving all the time, and you got to stay ahead of it, and my attitude is I'd rather be proactive rather than reactive. So that's my Mayor's Minute. I want to thank you for joining us, and as it's warming up, the season's getting beautiful, and it's time to get outside, so enjoy our parks and our river and everything we're trying to offer. So hope you have a great weekend and a great week. This is Mayor Craig Ford.